living in more precarious arrangements. So as a last sort of parting gesture, I would just want to raise that because I think it's an area that we need to lobby about and bring to public attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cathy. I think the passion you convey, I think is an excellent way of starting the conference. We've come here today, many of us, with a passion for, about what's happening and wanting things to change. It's good to hear the issues that you raise. Now, are there any points of clarification or one or two, a couple of questions anybody wants to raise at this point with regard to what Cathy has given? Yeah, and you say who you are. Yes. Do we have a roving line?
So, my name is William Simmons from the States of Guernsey, but also the Association of Lawyers for Children. And I just wanted to reiterate that this back court fees for private law applications. And I absolutely agree that it's better off that children are brought up within their state families and into the care system. And the state should do everything possible to support that. It seems to me that there's a complete lack of joined up government. On the other hand, it's saying that they're going to be introducing fees, as I understand, of up to £1,000 for those relatives, and as you said, many of them incredibly impoverished, to be able to apply for residency. Now, £1,000 may not be very much for a minister who's paying £40,000 but for the impoverished family who needs that order to protect that child, get access to housing, apply for a passport is absolutely crucial. And I think it's crucial that the message goes back to Jack Straw, Richard Prentice, to say it's completely inconsistent with your wish to keep children within extended families. I think it's a really crucial point to take that into account.
Absolutely, I think that's one of the key points I'm sure we will conclude with. Any other points?
Sorry, Lynn Chester from the Grandparents Association. We've worked with Cathy a lot.
Stand up so people can hear.
Sorry, particularly in the kinship care alliance. Just to say, totally agree, obviously, with what you said about family and friends carers. But the problem is we get thousands of extended family members, mainly grandparents, asking us, because it's still postcode lottery with regard to the support and allowances. And we receive 190 referrals a month from CABs, which is just proving that the whole problem is far too complicated for an organisation who is seen as the main welfare benefits board. So we will totally support what people are saying.
Before we move on, and there'll be an opportunity to discuss in more detail in the group. Okay, shall we? Great pleasure in next introducing those who doesn't need an introduction, but Paul Coleridge, who's a very distinguished High Court judge in the Standard Division, who's been a practitioner of family law for 37 years, training as a barrister, and for the last 9 years as a High Court judge. He's in charge of family justice in the Southwest region, all the way from Hampshire to Cornwall. And on a personal note, if I'm here, I'm going to appear in front of him. It's with enormous relief. He's one of the top, speaking as an expert, quote, having to give expert evidence, he's one of the judges who really are on the court and you can rely on to keep the barristers in order. It's really a pleasure. So, hand it over to you.
I'm going to stand up because barristers are used to standing up and talking at lecterns, and I never really got out of the habit. Can I just add, because everybody's giving their family credentials this morning, that I'm a parent of 3, and I shall be a grandparent for the first time in August. So it's very interesting because your whole perspective on children alters as you go through life. When you've got young children, you've got one view. When you've got teenage children, you've got another view. When your children leave the nest, you have another view, and then all of a sudden you become a grandparent, or you have a grandparental perspective. Can I just take 2 minutes of our very precious 15-minute slot, Roger, to loudly applaud you and the Cassell for being inspired to have, and then taking the time and trouble to organise this conference. As one who has to organise such an event on the Western Circuit every year, I know how much time and effort they take. May I also applaud the Times for appreciating just how important such a conference as this is, especially at this time. and so supporting the event. I'm very sad if Camilla Cavendish is not here. Family justice and the whole system is at present, as we all know, and quite rightly, under scrutiny in a way that it has never been before. Terribly tragic, high-profile cases have dominated the headlines very recently, and indeed not so recently, and increasingly, particularly in the last decade, some aspect or other of family justice seems to be on the centre of the public stage more or less on a daily basis. And that is not only in what is known, as we know in the trade, as the public law field, that is, cases involving intervention by local authorities. All aspects of private law, that is, disputes between and within families, have caught the nation's and the media's attention. I'm thinking, for example, of the media attention deliberately generated by the colourful antics of some of the fathers' groups, Spider-Man and the like. This has forced all of us to question our approach to the whole question of how children divide their time between estranged parents. All the various facets of the whole system, courts, judges, lawyers, social workers, CAFCAS, and the numerous physical and mental health professionals make up the force, and it is a force, which is permanently on the front line of the battle to protect the nation's psychological and social health from the effects of the epidemic and unprecedented levels of family breakdown that now confront us. And if I may say so, Roger, events like this ensure that the whole subject remains at the very top of the agenda, where it most certainly should be. So very well done. Can I also just concur with Cathy about the horrific concept of these private law fees being increased? It is completely nonsensical, as I've said in the past, because most of these fees are publicly funded anyway. So all that's happening is it's being passed around in a great circle. The government hands it to the local authorities. In theory, the local authorities hand it on to the court service, and so it goes on. But the only people who are going to be disincentivised, if that's the right word, from making these very important private law applications will be those who have to find the money out of their own pockets. If it's going to be the Legal Services Commission, what is the point of carrying out what is nothing more than an elaborate accounting exercise? We've been given a 15-minute slot, or at least it was 15 minutes when I started, to raise and promote discussion and debate on issues affecting families, and I have chosen a theme within the private law field. My title is Shared Residence and Parenting Issues. When I came to think about it, I think what I really meant, and the title should have been reversed, what I meant was shared parenting, shared residence, and possibly contact issues. Why have I chosen an issue within the private law sphere? Because this is the field in which numerically, by far the greatest number of families are involved. And so, of course, by far the greatest number of children. This area is, in a sense, less sensational than the public law field, except, of course, when the McCartneys or Madonna are involved. And so, despite the numbers involved, it tends to be the poor relation of the family justice system. Thankfully, and indeed mercifully, however appalling, children dying at the hands of their carers or even being brutally abused in other ways, can be counted in hundreds per annum. Children harmed by disputes arising out of parental breakup can be measured in hundreds of thousands per annum. It is the single area of greatest and most prolonged conflict on parental breakup. It is in this area that children suffer most. It is in this area that so much more work and resources and imaginative new thinking is desperately needed. Contact disputes take up more court and judge time and more professional time than any other in the family court system, and it is getting worse and worse. I'm going to raise the issues which I'm touching upon in an interrogative form. Firstly, because judges undoubtedly have views